watching our confidence start to glow. Side by side we learn the game. The Fluency Duo, that's the name.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Fluency Duo, the podcast where we have real, relaxed conversations in English so you can learn naturally without even noticing you're studying.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Sam. And Alex, before we start today's episode, I need to ask you something very serious.
Oh, that tone. What happened?
Did you have your coffee this morning?
Sam, I am here, aren't I? I am speaking in full sentences. I made eye contact. Yes, I had my coffee.
I'm asking because last Thursday you came into the studio and you sat down, stared at the microphone for about 45 seconds, and then said, and I quote, "I don't understand anything."
That was a very difficult morning, and I don't want to talk about it.
Listeners, that is exactly why we're talking about coffee today.
Because coffee is never just coffee.
Never. It is a morning ritual, an emotional support system, a personality, a whole lifestyle wrapped in a mug.
And today we are going to explore why so many of us feel so deeply, sometimes embarrassingly, attached to it.
We'll talk about the science, the emotion, the nostalgia, the coffee shop magic, and of course, as always, we'll do a word tour at the end with all the best vocabulary from today.
This is a B1 to B2 level episode, so don't stress if you miss a word here and there. Just relax, listen, and let the English flow over you like a warm cup of coffee.
Beautiful. And before we get going, if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube, please follow the show and leave us a comment. Tell us, are you a coffee person or a tea person?
Or the rare and mysterious, I don't drink either person.
Those people terrify me, honestly.
Same. Okay, let's get into it.
It's not about the taste. Alex, let me ask you this. When you think about your morning coffee, what is it actually about? Like, is it the taste?
Honestly, not entirely. I mean, I do love the taste, but if someone moved my favorite mug, made my coffee in a different cup, same coffee, same everything, it would feel wrong.
Because it's the whole experience.
Exactly. It's the mug, the smell, the sound of the machine, the same corner of the kitchen, the same quiet before the day starts. It's a ritual.
And I think that word, ritual, is the key to understanding why people love coffee so much. It's not just a habit. A habit is something you do automatically. A ritual is something you return to, on purpose, in a personal way.
Yes, like there's meaning in it, even if you can't explain the meaning exactly.
Right, and the ritual starts before the first sip, doesn't it?
Way before. Just making it already changes your mood. Boiling the water, hearing the machine, opening the bag and getting that first hit of smell.
That smell alone.
That smell alone can save a bad morning.
It really can, and there's actually a scientific reason for that. Our sense of smell is directly connected to the part of the brain that handles emotion and memory. So the smell of coffee doesn't just wake up your nose, it wakes up your whole emotional system.
Which is why one smell can take you somewhere completely different. A different kitchen, a different time in your life.
Exactly, and we'll talk more about that nostalgia piece in a minute. But first, can we talk about the morning version of people before coffee? Because I feel like this needs its own section.
Oh, absolutely. That person deserves a full documentary.
You wake up, you're technically alive, but nothing inside has actually booted up yet.
The body is present, the face is there, but the soul still loading.
Still buffering. And in that state, even simple things feel unreasonably difficult. Someone says good morning, and you're like, is it though?
Is it really good? Let me think about that.
And then the coffee arrives, and slowly, slowly, the caffeine kicks in.
And that moment when it actually works, when your brain clears, your mood lifts, you stop staring at the wall like it personally wronged you.
That moment is genuinely one of life's small pleasures.
One of the most underrated pleasures, honestly.
The emotional side of coffee.
Okay, let's get a little deeper because I think coffee has an emotional side that people don't always talk about openly.
Because it sounds a little dramatic to say, I am emotionally dependent on a beverage.
It does, but it's also just true for a lot of people.
And I want to say something here. That dependence isn't always about the caffeine. It's about the comfort, the familiarity, that feeling of, this is mine, this is safe, this is part of me.
And when you don't have it, it's not just a headache, it's like something is missing from the shape of your day.
Exactly. I skipped coffee once. I was running late, no time. And by mid morning, I wasn't just tired, I was irritated. Everything felt slightly wrong. The light was too bright, the room was too warm, someone near me was being too cheerful.
Too cheerful is such a relatable complaint before coffee.
It felt offensive at the time, Sam.
See, coffee quietly protects the people around us.
It really does. And here's what I find so interesting about this. When people try to cut back on coffee, reduce how much they drink, it can feel surprisingly emotional.
Because you're not just giving up caffeine, you're interrupting a routine, a comfort, a familiar moment, sometimes even a piece of your identity.
And people underestimate how personal that is. It sounds small, but it doesn't feel small.
You know what it reminds me of? There's this idea that the most loved things in life are often small on the outside but full of feeling on the inside.
Yes, ordinary things that carry extraordinary weight.
And coffee is one of them. It doesn't need to be dramatic. It just makes life feel a little softer, a little less sharp.
A little less sharp. I love that phrase.
And then there are the midday coffees, the ones that arrive not in the morning, but right in the middle of a hard day.
Those cups feel completely different.
They really do, because some coffee is just coffee, but some coffee arrives when you're exhausted, overwhelmed, disappointed, or just emotionally flat.
And that cup becomes a pick-me-up. Not my whole life changed, just this lifted me a little. Enough to answer the email, enough to finish the task, enough to stop feeling annoyed at everyone for reasons I can't fully explain.
Haha, that last one is so specific and so real.
I remember one afternoon, I was mentally done, not sleepy tired, emotionally tired. Too much noise in my head, too many things unfinished, too many tabs open in my brain and on my laptop.
That kind of tired is really heavy.
It is. And I made coffee, sat near the window, and just looked outside for 10 minutes. I did nothing useful, but afterward, I felt slightly more able to continue. Not fixed, just softened.
And sometimes softened is exactly enough.
Exactly. Not every solution needs to be big. Some of the best things in life are just small softeners.
The coffee shop universe.
Okay, we have to talk about coffee shops because coffee at home is one thing, but coffee in a cafe, that is a completely different world.
A whole other universe.
A good coffee shop can feel like a tiny, safe world inside a noisy day.
The music is low, cups are clinking, people are talking, but softly. Someone's reading, someone's pretending to work, someone is absolutely having a quiet life crisis next to a croissant.
That last one feels very specific.
Cafes hold all kinds of people, Alex, and somehow it all coexists beautifully.
And I think part of what makes a coffee shop feel so special is that it's one of the few places where you're allowed to just be. You can be tired, quiet, lost in thought, a little sad, and nobody asks you to explain it.
You can sit there alone and still feel connected to life somehow, alone but not isolated.
That's such a good distinction. Alone, but not isolated.
And then there are the ambitious dreams people bring into coffee shops.
Oh, the coffee shop ambitions. You walk in thinking, today I will be productive. I will answer all my emails. I will plan my entire future. I may even change my life.
And then,
And then you drink half the coffee, stare out the window for 40 minutes, and decide that was actually a very meaningful use of time.
and you know what? I think it counts.
I genuinely think it counts because sometimes what we need is not productivity, it's permission to stop. And the coffee shop gives you that.
That little permission to pause. And coffee, the drink itself, is kind of the same. It's not solving your problems, it's just making the space between problems feel a little more bearable.
A little more human. Memory, nostalgia, and the smell that takes you back.
Alex, let's talk about memory. Because I think one of the most powerful things about coffee is how deeply nostalgic it can feel.
Oh, yes. One smell, just one, and suddenly you're somewhere else entirely.
Childhood mornings, your parents in the kitchen before you even got out of bed, that smell drifting down the hallway.
Or late night studying, or your first office job, or a specific cafe in a city you visited years ago, or a person, someone who always made coffee a certain way.
And it's not just memory, it's memory with emotion still wrapped around it.
Sentimental. That's the word.
Exactly. Not just I remember that, but I still feel that.
And I think that's why coffee can carry so much meaning. It's not just routine and caffeine. It's comfort, memory, identity, emotion, all in one small, ordinary cup.
Small on the outside, full on the inside.
Always.
And maybe that's the real answer to why we love it so much. We say we love the coffee, but maybe what we really love is everything the coffee brings with it.
The pause, the warmth, the familiar feeling, the tiny lift, the memory, the permission to slow down, even just for a moment.
And for one small second, life feels a little less loud.
That's it. That's the whole thing right there.
Word tour.
Okay, it's time for our word tour. This is the part where we slow down and revisit the best vocabulary and phrases from today's conversation.
And remember, these aren't just coffee words. These are real everyday English words for talking about emotions, habits, memories, and the small moments that shape our days.
Ready? Let's go. Word 1, ritual. A ritual is something you do regularly in a personal, meaningful way, not just because you have to, but because it gives shape and feeling to a moment.
Making coffee every morning is a quiet ritual she really looks forward to. Or, his evening walk has become a ritual that helps him transition out of work mode.
Repeat. Ritual. Ritual.
Word 2, comforting. If something is comforting, it makes you feel calmer, safer, or more at ease, especially during difficult moments.
The smell of coffee in the morning felt deeply comforting. Or, there was something comforting about sitting by the window with a warm drink on a rainy day.
Repeat, comforting. Comforting.
Word 3, familiarity. Familiarity is the feeling of knowing something so well that it feels trusted, safe, and almost like a part of you.
There was a sense of familiarity in her morning routine that she found grounding. Or, the familiarity of that cafe made him relax the moment he walked in.
Repeat, familiarity. Familiarity.
Word 4, soothing. If something is soothing, it helps you feel calm, settled, or less tense. It's a gentler, quieter word than relaxing.
The sound of the coffee machine was surprisingly soothing. Or, she found the soft background noise of the cafe deeply soothing after a stressful day.
Repeat. Soothing. Soothing.
Word 5, nostalgic. Nostalgic describes the warm emotional feeling you get when something reminds you of the past, often bittersweet, always meaningful.
The smell of coffee made him nostalgic for childhood mornings in his grandmother's kitchen. Or, that rainy afternoon in the cafe gave her a nostalgic feeling she couldn't quite explain.
Repeat, nostalgic. Nostalgic.
Word 6. Sentimental. Sentimental means something carries personal emotion or memory. It matters to you in a deep emotional way that others might not fully understand.
She kept the old mug for sentimental reasons, even though it was chipped. Or, he felt surprisingly sentimental about that little cafe. It was where he'd written his first job application.
Repeat. Sentimental. Sentimental.
Now let's do some phrases. Phrase 1, kick in. When something kicks in, its effect starts to become noticeable. It begins to work.
The caffeine usually kicks in about 20 minutes after the first cup. Or, once the medicine kicked in, she finally started to feel better.
Repeat, kick in. Kick in.
Word 2. Cut back on. To cut back on something means to reduce it, to have less of it than before.
She's been trying to cut back on coffee in the evenings so she can sleep better. Or, after feeling sluggish every afternoon, he decided to cut back on sugar.
Repeat. Cut back on. Cut back on.
Phrase 3, a pick-me-up. A pick-me-up is something small that gives you more energy, lifts your mood, or helps you feel a little better when you're tired or low.
That afternoon coffee was exactly the pick-me-up I needed to get through the last hour. Or, a short walk outside can be a surprisingly effective pick-me-up.
Repeat, a pick-me-up. A pick-me-up.
Word 4. Hit the spot. When something hits the spot, it feels exactly right for that moment. It gives you precisely what you needed.
That warm coffee really hit the spot on a cold gray morning. Or, after a long day, a quiet corner in a cafe and a good book just hit the spot.
Repeat. Hit the spot. Hit the spot.
And our final phrase, emotionally flat. To feel emotionally flat means to feel dull, low, or empty inside. Not dramatically sad, just without energy or spark.
She wasn't upset exactly, just emotionally flat after a long and draining week. Or, sometimes you wake up feeling emotionally flat for no clear reason, and that's okay.
Repeat, emotionally flat. Emotionally flat.
Those were such rich words today. I think that's because coffee as a topic is secretly full of real human emotion.
It really is. Comfort, routine, memory, dependence, identity, all hiding in one little cup.
So this week, notice your own small rituals, the familiar things that make life feel softer, the tiny moments that give you permission to pause.
And if coffee is one of those things for you, we completely understand.
We really do.
Before we go, your question for the comments this week: what does your morning ritual look like? Coffee, tea, something else entirely? Tell us in the comments, in English, 1 or 2 sentences. We read everything.
We genuinely do, and we love hearing from you.
If this episode made your day a little lighter, please share it with one person who needs it. And follow the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube so you never miss an episode.
Take care of yourselves this week. Find your small, comforting moments.
This is Alex.
And this is Sam.
And you've been listening to the Fluency Duo. See you next time.
Ooh, yeah. Finding the rhythm in the flow, planting new words so they can grow. Every sentence soft and slow. Watch watching our confidence start to glow. Side by side we learn the game, the Fluency Duo.